All right, welcome, welcome, my friends. We're here with our friend Frank, and Frank is a PMP guru, certified just yesterday. It's
Me
such
or
a pleasure.
is it me or another Frank?
Oh my
He's trying to wake up from the dream. It's a reality, Frank. How do you feel? Day one?
I just feel relieved.
Yeah.
And, I'm still my normal self. I just feel relieved that that I wouldn't be listening to all the videos again, all the for the time being.
Do you have anything you want to say? Frank has some of our team members on.
Um,
I'm asking them what they want to say to you, Frank.
Oh, sure. Congratulations, the new boss in town.
Yeah. Thank you, Cynthia.
Yeah. I know you worked hard. I know you really worked hard with all the videos and all the handouts and everything in between, the quizzes, the practice, and all that. So it paid off. So I'm happy for you. Truly, I'm happy for you.
Thank you, Cynthia.
And I am equally happy for you, Frank, with the late nights, early mornings, studying. To add to, what Cynthia already said. Yeah, you worked hard and it paid off. Congrats.
Thank you. We all worked hard, and the success pickup is just one after the other. We all were together studying, reviewing questions, rationalizing answers, justifying why it has to be B, not C. It was a journey that was jointly embarked on. So I'm also confident that in no time you will go to the chef and pick your own.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So Frank, it's been a long time coming. Frank was part of our masterclass, and he's been studying really hard and had really put in a lot of time and energy into the content. But Frank, let's talk about the exam. I want to go straight to the exam because I already know the story about how determined you are to do this and why you wanted to do this and why you wanted to take the PMP. And it's not as if your company said you must take it, right? They didn't say you must.
No, it was a goal that was personally set by my good self.
So you found me on YouTube somewhere, and you said, what made you decide you were going to take lessons with Praizion?
Okay, so for me, I am a bit familiar with some activities in the Agile world, particularly the Scrum space. Working as a Scrum Master, taking some Scrum certifications. So why I wanted to do the PMP, I was made to understand that I need to do some contact hours, and that will be provided by accredited education providers. So I don't know anyone, so I started reviewing, going to the internet. On YouTube, I stumbled on some of your videos. I listened to some of the predictives, and of course, because it's not something that is up my alley, I'm not able to decipher. Then I listened to the Agile. So the Agile, I could relate to them very well, given my little stock of knowledge on them. So those resonated quite well with me. And I said to myself, having listened to some other videos of Agile, I see some people try to mix rice and beans together. So I'm listening to yours, and sincerely, the ones I listened to of yours, I didn't see Roy in them. It was just only you. So I said to myself that this guy is it. And I was convinced. So I decided to send an email. I looked for contact on the video. I sent you an email. And in the speed of light, you responded. And we took it from there, and they told me there will be a class coming up soon, and all those. So he gave me the various options that I could explore, and I told you that I don't know these options. So you advise me on the one, given my where I'm coming from. You advise me on the one that will be best suited for me, and you said that the master class is coming up soon, and it will be good. And you have something on offer. You have some deals, so I should take it. I tried to see if I can get a discount. He said that is the floor that you can go. So, and I did that. I tried to do that. I couldn't say through. I sent you an email that I'm having some challenge. You responded and other stuff, and got resolved. I got enrolled, and immediately I attended the first class. I couldn't but just do a sign of the cross as a child. so I was very satisfied, and my satisfaction index continued to grow by the day, every time. And after the class, what now thrilled me was the after class support. The support after the class itself is marvelous, and the sacrifices you make, the support you provide to your students is so unparalleled, and it's difficult to find.
Thank you.
I'm not sure that I will have such magnanimity to do that. And if you are to start charging for those, quite frankly, I'm not sure any student will be able to afford it, because it will never be wallet friendly. It will always be. But I feel you are wonderful.
Thank you.
I thank God that the day I went to YouTube, saw you, I blessed that.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you. I'm really excited. And I know you put in a lot of hard work. You were a great student. Frank, I remember the question Frank asked. So if I show up to class, because I don't want to have to read this ugly, big old PMBOK. So
he read pages of it. He read like summary pages.
Yes, there was some pages that few on the first day I attended master class. In fact, one of the things Phil did for me was, before the master class started, Phil gave me opportunity to have a peep of what the class looks like. So while the class were about to end, he gave me opportunity to attend. So that me attending gave me good opportunity to see what is in stock. So that day he did mention the areas I need to study, both on the PMP 6 and the 7. And in my note, I noted them on my phone. I noted them. All the pages for Agile Practice Guide, read all. For the PMP 6, read from here to here. If you must not read all, you must do this area. But stupidly, there's anything that has to do with PMP, I didn't read that time. And I was greeted with the baptism of fire.
Oh dear.
But as they say in the Pentecostal word, to God be the glory.
Amen.
So Frank, let's talk about this occasion when you now buckled down in the past month or so, and you kind of had some momentum building up. How many hours a day were you studying in the last, let's say, last few weeks leading to your exam?
Okay, I was what I mentioned to you that time was that as a student, I will not miss your class. No matter what it is, I will push that away to attend their class. That I did religiously. And along the line, work and some things begin to come my way. That was a big blocker to my study. You recall that when I come to daily Scrum, I will always say that my impediment is time.
Yeah.
So, but after about 1 month of not being able to attend the daily Scrum, I told myself that I need to get this out of the way. So I know that work will always be there. There's nothing I can do about it. It is a mandatory dependency, if you will. So what I will now do is to shorten my own time. So the time I'm supposed to use to rest and sleep, have to use it to study. So my intensive study, I would say, has been in the last 2 weeks to 3 weeks.
Okay.
So when I come back from work, I try to study till I will do the daily scrum, catch up with the Loveless and Cynthia. I would like to push for us to do more questions. And but once we finish, I will continue. The earliest I have attempted to go to bed would be like 3.
That's
3
crazy. I remember you saying that. I'm like, wow, that you really were putting in the time and energy. Now, how were you studying? How did you organize the chapters? Were you studying by knowledge area? Were you studying by Agile? Were you studying people, process, business? How are you studying all of these components?
So I used management by exception, being that my core exception area is the process area. I devoted a lot of time to it, without relegating the people and business area. So I ensured that while I'm doing the process area, I'm also carrying out regression testing to be sure that the existing ones are not falling off the crack, right? So that was what I did, but my major study was the process area. I didn't do much on Agile, because I would say to an extent is a comfort zone. But what I did is that this item, I printed
Scrum guy. Let's zoom in on that one. Yeah.
I printed this, so I tried to, in the last 1 week, for 3 days, I read this in the last 1 week. Coming back from work, I will read it in the train. Yes, and I'm able to finish it for the 50 minutes train ride.
Wow, yeah.
So I did it like that 3 times, and the area you listed to us in the Immersion handbook, I printed those. That is it.
Wow, good.
So on my way to work, I'll be reviewing the goods zones. I'll be reviewing them.
Good.
So I did that consistently for the past 1 week, and that way I kept brushing myself and coming back and giving practice questions with Loveless and Cynthia and some other people, but of course Loveless and Cynthia were my constant partners in the study.
It's good that you worked as a team. Now let's talk about business, because you've talked about process, you talked about Agile. Now for the business area, I know you work in a bank, so you're very business savvy, but what else did you do to get strong? Because you got AT, so you're obviously strong in the business side. So what did you do to augment your business study, and how did you get strong in business?
Yeah, so what I did was, I think I made the deliberate attempt to review all those environmental factors. So, yes, I did that, and I also ensured that anything that has to do with business in that handout, you know the immersion book, you have a detailed one. Yeah. Which to me is intimidating. So I went for the handout.
The smaller one.
Yes. Which is 120 pages.
Yes.
So that was the one I went for. So I tried to review it. But one would say that maybe some pockets of knowledge we pick from here and there may have also helped in the business domain.
Yeah, so the environmental factors you're talking about, that's chapter 2. So did you go to chapter 2, or did you read it in one of our books? Because you got the essentials book as well. So I'm wondering, did you open PMP to read it?
No, I didn't go outside of that as
HPM exam. Yeah, okay.
I didn't go outside of that, and the Agile practice guide, which I read the first time.
Yeah.
and this other ones. I didn't go outside of it. This mantra, yes, I reviewed it.
Good. You really stayed the course, because a lot of people, they got shiny object syndrome. They want to drink this, they want to drink this. And I'm like, you're just giving yourself busy work, because at the end of the day, you're going to be confused. So I'm glad that you stayed the course and you focused and you knuckled down. It's unbelievable. I'm glad that handout was of value to you, because you got to find what works for you and use just that and dial in. There's so much redundancy in the Praizion content. There's so many different ones you could choose from. Why go out and waste money on additional stuff? So I'm glad you did that. And
one thing I have to tell you, Phil, is that by the time I discovered you, today, I have never looked at any other material apart from yours. Yes, that is
thanks for the vote of confidence.
That is the way I operate. Having established high confidence level, why should I be looking for a beautiful girl in Barbados when there is one in Toronto?
That is funny. That is hilarious, Frank. I'm really glad that you did that.
I stuck to your materials, and you have a plethora of those. There's nothing you will be looking for that you don't have. It is you, the student, that will now begin to select what I need, because you have the ones that are 5 years. If I see them, I will say, oh, this might not be correct anymore. Let me go for the newer ones. But when it comes to those processes, it doesn't matter when it was done. I read them.
Absolutely. Frank, the elephant in the room, your friend, the ITTOs. Tell us. How to tackle the ITTOs? Now that you're a PMP, I would love for you to walk us through how best to tackle ITTOs, because I know you looked at the back of the PMBOK guide, you saw all of this stuff. So how did you eventually tackle them? Just tell us.
So the back of the PMBOK guide, you know what I have is PDF version. I don't have the hard copy. So what I did was, the night before the exam, I planned not to look at the books. But it wasn't possible for me because I had a lot of things to do. I have the Myers-Briggs thing to try to internalize.
Oops, Frank, did you go on mute? I think something happened.
I think it was system
failure.
I think the system muted everyone or something. Because
gotcha.
my hand is not on my computer.
Okay.
So what I did was to look at the PMBOK, go to those definition of terms or something, glossary. So I now use the Microsoft Edge to be reading it out while I am playing with the Myers-Briggs. So that was what I did for those.
That's smart. So you used the Microsoft Edge to read the glossary to you? Yes. Wow, that's a good tip.
From beginning to the end.
Wow, that's a great tip. Great tip for everyone out there. Use Edge to read your PMBOK.
So, and in the morning when I got to the place, it was supposed to be by 8 a.m. I left early so I could be there like an hour. So I can also review the definition of terms for Agile Practice Guide.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So because I was able to have become comfortable with the Myers-Briggs, having played with it almost all night. But unfortunately, I didn't see anything from there in the exam.
It's so annoying when they do that. You're expecting a topic, you're waiting for it, and it doesn't show up.
I didn't see anything from there. I didn't see anything from all those monitor, manage closely, keep satisfied, keep informed, that myself and the Lovelace we are doing 2 nights ago. I didn't see anything from there.
That's funny. And now, Frank, we're not going to, of course, go into the deep minutiae of the exam. We know PMI has been very clear. Don't tell anyone what you saw. Yeah, we know.
Very unethical.
Yeah. But Frank, let's talk about the question length. I really want to dial in and channel the Frank who was in the exam yesterday. You tell me, Frank, I'm just going to flash something on the screen. Give me your first impression. Too long, on point, or outlier?
On the average, this question, you will see a couple of questions of this length.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
but you still have fewer. You see the ones that are like half of it.
let's go to this one.
This was like 50% of the questions.
Okay, that's good to know. So, and then maybe the other 50 would be maybe even shorter than this, would you say?
Yes, those guys are very funny. If they set a question that is like 2 lines, the answers, each of the answers will be like 2 lines.
Okay. So let me.
So you will still have time to read.
Let me chop this one down a little bit. So is it fair to say the questions, another 50% of them could be this long or a bit longer?
No, there was if you see something like this, it might be like 1 or 2.
Okay, so maybe something like this?
Yeah, you could see something like this. Yeah.
And then if you saw something like this.
But something like this is not much though.
Not many like this.
Yes, yeah, it's not many. It wouldn't be more than 10 or thereabout.
10%. So what about something like this? Is this more like?
This is about the same thing with the last one.
Okay, so the answers maybe more text in the answers. So something like this is not, far out, yeah?
Yeah, so yes, you see some questions like this, but the answers will be having like 2 lines.
Okay.
Or 3 lines, some 3 lines.
Ah, wow. That's good to know. That's good to know. So just to be doubly sure and on the same page, something like this is not very, like maybe 1 or 2, not a whole lot.
Not 1 or 2. You have loads of them, but maybe like 30% of the question.
Okay.
Or 40% of the question. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. That's very good to know. So Frank, let's dial in because I know I promised that we're only going to take a certain amount of time. So the ITTOs, you shared with us how you were able to do those, the knowledge areas, you also shared with us how you were able to get those under control. Let's talk about the exam. So as you're navigating the exam, did you spend all the time given, or did you had about 15 minutes left, or what?
Once bitten, twice shy. So I said to myself that I won't spend more than a minute on each question.
Okay.
So that was what I used, and I took all the breaks. I didn't do anything during the break. I couldn't go to the car. They said I can't leave the premises.
But you can go to the restroom, right?
Yes. So, but I will just be on the hallway, stretch my leg and all those things. That's all. Go back. But I had a lot of time saved. I had a lot of time. When I finish the 180 questions, I have like 20 minutes.
Okay.
And despite the fact that towards the end, I became slow. When I had like 10 questions left, I wasn't rushing anymore, so I was taking my time. So because I have seen that I have a lot of time on my hand. So when I finish the last 60, I have 20 minutes left. I went to check the ones I flagged.
Okay.
I used 5 minutes to do that, even though I could have done that in 2 minutes. But I took a lot of time to review it to ensure that nothing slips through the crack. At the end of the day, I flagged them, and I didn't change any answer of them either. So that second look was for me like a confirmatory visit. So at the end of it, I had 15 minutes left. I said,
wow.
What will I be doing? There's nothing I can do with this 15 minutes. It's not useful to me. So I just click end.
Wow.
As I click end, the stuff was rolling. It said, congratulations. It said, congratulations. I said, like seriously, congratulations. And everybody in the place had finished, left, and other things. I ended the session and other things. I raised my hand for the rector to come. She came and asked me, how was the exam? I said, I just told her, come see, come sir. So he said, I shouldn't worry that all the people that wrote today, nobody passed.
What?
Nobody passed, so I shouldn't
Oh
feel.
my goodness. Nobody in that exam center passed?
Yes, but I shouldn't feel bad that is a normal thing.
Oh my God.
Prepare well next time. I said, okay. We got down. She brought up the printout. I said, you passed. So why? He passed. So congratulations. So
you already knew you passed. She didn't know.
She did not know.
And you just kept quiet. You didn't say anything like, I passed. No.
Even when I was coming, my wife called me, said, how was the exam? I said, well, I have done what I could do. She said, the way I'm sounding is like it didn't go well. I said, well, I'm 5 minutes away from the house. So the important thing now is that I'm hungry. She said, okay, will I eat rice or will I eat a goosey soup or vegetable soup? I said, I'm an obedient eater. I know when you give me, I eat.
Obedient. Oh, dear Lord.
So I got home.
Oh my gosh.
I got home. She hugged me, said, no problem. I gave her the slip. She looked at it. She said, pass. She said, that was it.
Oh my gosh. That is so much fun. Yeah, congrats, Frank. Well, we're not going to keep you because we know we had an agreement for 30 minutes. It's on the clock of 30.
Yeah.
So I want Cynthia
and I still have some up to 15 minutes.
Okay, thank you. So Cynthia and Lovelace, and congrats. We have another PMP boss in the building, Yvonne. Welcome.
Hi, Yvonne. You're mute.
Hi, Yvonne.
I kind of lost my voice, but hi, guys. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Wow. You were celebrating too crazily, I guess.
It's celebration, right? Okay.
Crazy celebration. Well, good to have you. So any questions, comments, or just reminiscing that you would like to share with Frank, anyone?
Yeah, they're my people, so they will ask what to ask.
Trust me, yeah. I know that you covered every ground possible. I know you did that for sure. What would you say was the single most impactful content of video preparation you did that made the most difference, being that you took it the first time and the second time and you nailed it? What do you think made the most impact?
I would, quite frankly, I would say that my deliberate effort to internalize the process, 49 processes.
Wow.
To internalize them in a way that I could walk you through them. I know all of them. The other day, I did it with fear during the daily scrum. And what I might not be able to do is to give you all the inputs for the 49 processes. I will not be able to do that. And but I will be able to give you some of the outputs. Some of the output, not 100%. But however, the 49 processes, internalizing them was quite helpful for me. And I did that because of what Philip said in our meetings, where you say, if you are dropped in a parachute and you find yourself somewhere, where would you say you are? You understand? So where would you say you are? So that is, for me, is very important. So that pushed me to ensure that I internalize that 49 processes. And I found it a bit that it might be difficult to do in the first instance, but along the line, I found out it was easy to do. If just to understand the logical sequence.
Mm-hmm.
After this, after this, that. Like I would say, I told you the other day, if you are cooking a goosey soup, there are certain things you will put first before you put your seasoning, before you put your vegetables. So if you just understand the flow, that this have to come before this, just like when you are doing sequence activities. You have to also know the predecessor activities and know the successor activities and when they will come. So you just understand the processes. If you do understand it, it will not be difficult. It's very easy. So Cynthia, tell yourself if a foolish Frank can do it.
Smart Frank.
Very smart, Frank.
Anything but foolish. So whenever
we use that back in Nigeria. We use that when you're in school. You see one foolish ugly boy is following one beautiful girl. You will just say yourself, if this ugly boy can be dating this girl, I will get a more beautiful girl that's better than this one.
You're hilarious.
You and your analogies to food like Phil, and then to ladies, and now it's which one?
So funny.
Did you get a lot of Agile questions, Frank?
So I would say that on top of my head, based on my own record and estimation, I would say that Agile would account for about 35% of the questions. Predictive, pure predictive, about 50%, 50%, okay. And hybrid, pure hybrid will be about 15. So if you want to bucketize Agile and hybrid together, that will give you about 50. But that predictive took a dominating 50%.
Interesting.
And they will have questions that you would know that two answers are correct.
Yes,
you
got that too, yes.
Then you will now have to start rationalizing which of these two then is most appropriate. So that can be confusing sometimes because it becomes a bit judgmental. So, hello, Kevin.
So of the two,
hi, Colvin.
Hi, Colvin.
Hi there.
Welcome. Welcome to the party. Frank's just been sharing. And do you have any questions for the celebrant? He's a celebrant. He's celebrating his success. And then we're gonna hear from Yvonne after. So if you have questions for Frank, now's a great time. He's gonna go party, as you can see. He's all
quick question. Quick question, Frank.
Yes.
So of the two questions, after you eliminated 2 of the 4, the 2 questions that you had, was it easy to? No, I wouldn't say easy. How reasonable was it to be able to determine which one would move the project forward?
Yeah, so what I do is that when I find myself in that circumstance, I will just flag it and move on. So most of the questions I flag are those that will have 2 competing correct answers. So I would not come back to look at it and say, at the spur of the moment, what my mind will tell me, I know I would have gotten some correct, I know I would have fetched some. So but I will just look at it. And what I do is, while I'm reviewing those flag questions, the one I have picked as an answer, I don't look at it first. So I go to the other options to review them and see if those will make more sense. However, I would have also known that this and this is a no-no. So the one that seems a bit close, that is competing with the other one I have chosen, that's the one I will now zoom in on, review it better and say, okay. Then after that, I look at the one I picked.
Got it. So almost similar to what we did Friday.
Correct.
As we were going through the Phil's questions.
Correct.
Nice. So the first 10 questions, you've gotten in, you've sat down, you've gone through the instructions, and you see the first 10 questions. How did you feel?
You know that both in the first time and this time, I didn't put myself under pressure. I told myself this is something I put upon myself. So my own is, if it comes out good, bad, I take it at that. If it comes out good, better. But the first 10 questions, in as much as they were not friendly, they were not friendly. They were coming like enemies that is attacking somebody in their territory. So
You attack the beast back.
yeah, so but there are some you will not see after like 10, 15 questions, there will be some you will not see. You say, oh, okay, these people might be coming my way soon. So, so it was like that. So I didn't let those first questions that seems unfriendly to also affect my mood.
Nice.
Mm.
That's awesome. Thank you. And congratulations. So proud of you.
Woo.
Yes.
So it's actually relieving. I would dedicate my success to number one, Phil.
Oh, thank you, Frank.
And to all the team members who studied together, who had in different ways shaped my reasoning. There are areas I would have picked wrong answers, and they would say, "No, Frank, why did you pick that?" So those things add a lot of value because nobody is all-knowing. When you remain in your comfort zone, you wouldn't be able to identify those gaps. So, and I didn't take any of the mocks because if I took the mocks, it will give Phil inclination that
You're so funny.
I'm getting close.
He is so funny. Look at him. Look at what he was thinking about. What a joker.
Strategy. Always using strategy.
I cannot believe that he did that. Naughty. Frank.
So, but you notice that I kept practicing previous questions.
When you appeared at the daily scrum, I said, yeah, the time is close.
Yeah, you said
You did say that, Phil.
Yeah.
And when I started that, I have not set up my exam. So
really,
I told the novelist that the way my mind is telling me that someday I will just wake up and
you said that, yeah.
This exam.
I recall that.
So when did you book the exam? Tell us when.
Last week, Wednesday.
Ah.
So the challenge there was that in the Toronto area, I didn't see space. So I have to go far away place. I had space, but I just wanted it to go with this October. Let me open a new chapter in November.
Well, all I'll say is well done. The strategy paid off, and I understand not wanting to be under pressure. And it worked, and you didn't study stressed. You studied just normal. So
yeah,
that was
I
good.
studied normal, but my last 1-2 weeks was stressful. My last 1-2 weeks was stressful. I wasn't sleeping. I was all alone. Luckily, I don't do anything in the house, so.
Frank.
Boss.
Hey there. Congratulations to you. This is a surprise because I did not know that you were taking your test. But question pertaining to your speed. It's my understanding that previously you were concerned about speed. What tweaks did you make to kind of close that speed gap you had initially in the past?
Yeah, so the way we discussed the other time that I had a speed challenge. I don't read fast. So what I did was, while we were practicing questions, I tried to not to overprocess those questions. Because what was my challenge was that as I'm starting to read, as I'm reading, I am processing them one by one. So I will just glance through it firstly to have a little understanding of what it's saying. In some of them, I'm able to understand it. Some of them, I will need to look at it again. If it is a bit technical, I have to look at it again. But in many of them, once I read it casually. That way, I'm able to pick what the question is talking about. So that was what happened. And I said to myself, and I said it in the daily scrum, that any day I'm going to take that exam, I can't do more than a minute in each question.
Mhm.
So that was deliberate, and I did it. And that was why at the end of the whole thing, when I finished, I had like 20 minutes.
Oh,
So that helped me, and I think grace of God.
Did you feel under pressure at all, Frank? Like,
No, I didn't feel under pressure.
so were you reading, speed reading, or were you reading every word? Because I know, like,
I read every word. Those ones
wow.
they say go to the last question, last sentence. I didn't do those. And the
Mm.
answers first, I didn't do it.
So that means your speed of reading had increased over the months.
Yes. So that was why I was saying that before. What I do was, as I'm reading, I am deeply processing the words one by one.
Mm.
But this time, I wasn't doing that.
You're on autopilot because you've done it so many times.
So I was just glancing through it. Some of them, I'm able to get it at the first glance.
Okay.
Some of them, I have to look at it again. There were some I reviewed 3 times.
Mm.
Yes. But of
But you've
course,
just gotten quicker.
yes. Because of course, I do know that if you have a minute for each question, which is 60 seconds, you can take 10 seconds to do the first glancing, take another 10 seconds to do the glancing, then start looking at the answers.
Mm.
So, and there are some questions that if you want to look at the last sentence, you won't be able to get what the question is talking about. Maybe what would have given you a clue to the answer would have been in the first sentence or second sentence before the third or fourth sentence.
That's one of the tricks they use.
Yeah. So, for example, they tell you a large organization, they are very comfortable with large organization. A large organization is transitioning to Agile. That is the first sentence. So maybe there's no other place in the question that you hear Agile. So how would you know that from the answers? How would you know you are tackling a situation of a company attempting to transition to Agile?
Mm.
So sometimes those looking at the last sentence or last 2 sentences might bite you back.
Mm.
Because you have missed one of the ingredients you would need in reviewing the answers.
Mm.
For me, my advice would be look at the questions end to end, but do it fast.
Yeah.
You are better off do it fast. If you do it end to end fast, and you find out that the earlier sessions are not useful, you abandon it. If you are reviewing the second time, you concentrate on the area that's important.
Gotcha. Good deal, Frank. Well, thank you very much, Frank. We appreciate you and appreciate you writing. Frank took time out, and this is a challenge to our bosses. Frank has already given back. He's already paid it forward by writing down ideas and questions that I am going to engineer. And very soon, you'll see some of Frank's ideas of questions that you need to be thinking about, ways you need to be thinking about the content. So I'll be sharing that as soon as I'm able. I'll share that with you. And I really appreciate you doing this for us, Frank. I know it's very short notice. We just decided about 30 minutes before we actually did it that we're going to go ahead and share lessons learned. And Yvonne as well, jumping on here. Appreciate you folks. I know you really want to make a difference. So I want to say a massive thank you to you, Frank. Thank you very much. Go enjoy yourself. But yeah, I'll be pinging you in the future.
Sure. And I will say thank you to all my wonderful study team members. You guys are wonderful. And I hope that this relationship will not end with passing PMP.
Yay. Congratulations. And thank you, Frank.
Congrats. We appreciate your sense of humor too, Dorino.
He maintains a calm demeanor and a sense of humor, which is very appreciated, Frank. Thank you for bringing humor to the group.
No problem. My number is out there in the WhatsApp forum. I don't, even though I live in Toronto, I don't behave like the Western world. I'm Nigeria to the core. So call me anytime. I don't believe, is it a good time to talk or is it, no. Call me anytime, send me a message, I will respond. So, Cynthia, are you in the WhatsApp forum?
I was about to ask that. There's a WhatsApp forum I don't know about.
I'm not, Frank. Where's he at?
I am
Where's
going.
it?
Right, I'm not in it as well.
Oh, really?
Can you
Right.
guys
No.
send
I
me?
guess the
Here's my
special
phone
ones.
number. Here, I'm gonna put my number in the chat.
Same
Send me
here.
your phone numbers, and then I will make sure to add you.
Thank you.
You're
Good
welcome.
deal.
Okay.
Thanks.
Who is Fabrizio that is there, I think.
Yes, just ping Fabrizio, but I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. I will continue the after party. Thank you, Frank.
All right, thank you very much.